Yeah, games journals obviously have told on themselves. They want that games journals mode because they want to be able to move on to the next game. They're not actually in the games. It's more of, hey, Elden Ring's a game that I can't just breeze fucking through it.
No.
And I actually have to sit and play it, but I might miss my next review. So as far as my deadline,
do you love the exhilaration of failure that ends in victory?
Oh man, it's
you know
no
when you've
better
been
feeling.
stuck on a boss for a while and then you fucking nail that boss and it's
No
just
better
like
feeling.
fucking yes.
No better feeling, bro.
Sit down.
No fucking better feeling. I feel so great. I know I often play these games. Back when I was streaming games all the time, people remember when I was doing my no death run on Sifu, right? And I was playing the fuck out of that, trying not to die on any of those rounds, man. And like once I get, it might take me 40 fucking tries, but once I got there and I beat it, fuck, dude, it felt so good, man. It's a sense of an actual accomplishment there.
Yes,
and it is rewarding, right? As a gamer, what I reject, and I guess this would be, I would add my answer to this. You see the people that obsess over accessibility. Again, I'm not talking about fucking colorblind settings and trying to be able to edit a control. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about trying to make these games for the lowest common denominator where they basically can be slept through, right? My argument, and it's been this way for a while, is that look, a game like Elden Ring, it does have a gate. Not everybody's going to be able to play it. Not everybody's going to be able to experience. But there was once upon a time back in the gap. I remember I have stacks of fucking Sega Genesis games, especially some of these platformers like fucking Vector Man that I never beat. And I don't remember crying saying, well, I don't get to
Kid Chameleon.
Yeah.
Kid Chameleon. I used to play shit out Kid Chameleon. Did I beat Kid Chameleon? No. Did I complete Sonic 3? Don't think so. Don't think I completed Sonic 3.
Another one, yeah.
Plenty of games that I used to play on the Mega Drive, Sega Genesis to you, Mega Drive for us. No. And to me, it was that wasn't necessarily a bad thing because you'd be pushed to a degree. Yeah.
You had stacks of games that you never beat. Like that was, and it never was a thing. It was never. That is again another recent, more cultural phenomenon. Where it's like, well, I have to be able to experience a story. I have to be able to beat this, otherwise, game bad. Like that's a new thing. Like we used to grow up on games that we just never beat, and it was like, just never beat.
We used to have 3 lives.
Yeah,
that's what used to have 3 lives, and then that was game over.
Yeah,
you know, you'd be able to pick a 1-up somewhere along the way, and you'd be like, "Fucking hell, I just got an extra life."
Yeah.
But we were used to finite lives in our games, and once those finite lives were over, game over, back to the beginning, sunshine, have a nice day.
Yeah.
And that made you go through the sections more carefully and get more proficient with the sections that you'd completed. To the fact that you'd start to get to the points where you were failing with a better progression and more, maybe an extra life, maybe a little bit more health, whatever it was. But I like Gauntlet. I used to play shit out of things like Gauntlet.
Oh man,
that's coming back, baby. That's gonna come back. That's coming back, and it's looking sexy.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, yeah. And let's go. How far can we go in these games? Streets of Rage, you know, all of it.
Yeah.
How far can we go? Batman Returns for the Mega Drive.
Battletoads.
That's a doozy of a video game.
Yeah, it was a normal thing, and now I think with the introduction of a lot of people, yes, gaming has expanded. It's as big as it's ever been. I think a lot of devs are thinking, I don't know who it is. Maybe it's the corpos that are part of these development companies that are. I don't know if it's some data that I'm not seeing, where they're like, look, if we can make our game as accessible to as many people, again, I'm just referring to the difficulty element of it, then we make the most money. And again, if they're seeing something I'm not, maybe that's what it is that they have access to. But I think Elden Ring just proves like that narrative altogether, because I know it's a bunch of people that bought that game that didn't fucking beat it. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't. It was a difficult game. It required a lot more time. It required a lot more effort. timing, or memorizing sort of patterns, and being able to be able to react. Like that's what those games are all.
And I think that's great for your cognitive development.
I agree,
especially really good for cognitive development,
as you age. Like absolutely, it's keeping the mind sharp, right? 100%. But yeah, it is weird, man. And obviously, a lot of games are gravitating towards the interactive movie setup, and it's like,
I don't want an interactive movie. I don't want an interactive movie.
Right there with you.
It works as a genre once in a blue moon, but when all AAA is developing,
like everybody's doing it. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Then it's like no. I want to I think this is why I gravitate more now towards sandbox games, because I'm creating my own gameplay, and the narrative is very minimal in them, because the whole focus is on
basically making the narrative,
exploring, finding, building, developing. So I think that's why I've started to gravitate way more towards that element of game. But even something like The Witcher 3, which has a heavy narrative for sure, shit ton of gameplay.
Yeah.
It doesn't come at the cost of gameplay. This can be done. And now it just seems like a lot of the people who are making these games, their real passion is to actually just make a movie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then they get bored up by Hollywood. They go, oh, we'll do a thing on your IP. And they'll be like, yes, I made it.
Yeah.
At last, fuck these gamers. I can just go and do what I always wanted to do.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly what's happening. There's a lot of these guys who have the desire to make movies. Maybe they haven't got in, and maybe this is their ticket. And that's why they're telling the stories in the way that they are, and their games are based upon that. It's so, again, I think the narrative being weaved into these games, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but at the end of the game, it is a video game. At the end of the day, it's a video game, and I'm playing the game to play the game. Like I'm not. If I want to watch a movie, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go watch a movie, right? That's just my thing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios. Next up, possibly our most anticipated book thus far, Yaira.